natures about the universe and the whole system. So although we are completed about the foundations and high we need to understand the concept of the mammals, universe, world, nature. All these things is essential to imitate within nature and humanity. When the people has been lost imitating with the nature, we got many diseases. Even animal knows everything. Human being is more dominating, intellectual, sense what we have, the mammals we don't have, what they are implementing their health system, which we are not following the same, where it causes ultimately is the today's scenario. Most of the people who are illness today, either none of them are here and they feel any one of the diseases. We have lost the nature. So for example, previously, last week I told about how to utilize our body in the proper manner in terms of our way of lifestyle, in terms of eating habits, sleeping habits, and emotional aspect, and way of thinking. So this and all we have lost totally. Today's scenario you can see is the most competitive lifestyle what we are doing today. So therefore, now we need to understand how to live with the nature. Now the climate of particularly Bangalore, I can say the people love to Bangalore since the climate is not too high temperature and not too low, it's a minus degree level. So therefore this nature is helping to human system, and moreover the cold constitution is more slightly comparatively more in Bangalore. Apart from that there is no heat much constitution here. So therefore there are the chances and prone to get relevant cold syndromes in Bangalore. Right. So now how we can balance those systems with the helping with the external environment. Right. Now there are the internal environment and outer is external. If external environment is good, that is applicable to the human system. When it is the external is different, so that will reflect to the human system obviously. So on that condition, how we need to maintain our health system, according to that we have to maintain. If the external is cold, then we have to follow as a hotness, and if it is external is very hot, and we have to follow as a cold. In terms of using the cotton cloths and living in the cold places, etc., we need to maintain, and intake of food is obviously a big concern. So how we need to take the food with the help of nature. The food is, I told you there are the 5 tastes. What are those tastes? Sour is wind, then bitter is hardness heat, and then sweet is humidity, and dryness is pungent, and water is salty. So for the kidney, salt is essential. For the pungent is essential for the lungs, and the sweet is essential for the spleen, and bitter is essential for the heart, and there is a sour taste is essential for the wind and liver. So now all this, some people they like only sweet, and some of the people are aromatic or spicy. What about other taste? Each and every element there is a specific taste. Therefore, is suggested mix all together in the small quantity level and cocktail make it. So according to that, if you have, and certainly that will help to all the internal the heart is there, that reflect to the small intestine. If the liver is supporting, that is the sour taste, that will help to the gallbladder. All the organs is correlated each other at the same time, that will supplement the other foods to the human system. So we have forgotten that. So taking food when the body is asking something, and we have to follow. Even children, we do lot of mistakes. Even children will teach us, for example. When the baby cries, there are a few ways she can cry. First reason for the baby's crying is either it is thirst or it is related to hunger. Now how to identify either it is thirst or hunger or maybe appetite? On that condition, when the child cries and nourished with the water, if after drinking water she subsided and she has no feeling of crying, then further you need to give as a food. And apart from this, even though after drinking the water she is crying, then further you can nourish with the food. Right. So this is the formula we need to when body asks you something and provide to the body, this is very simple. So body knows each and everything. It is the complex system, and it is the exclamatory and has been made by the Almighty, and the doctors cannot treat the whole thing. The nature itself cures body. So that's the thing is explaining about all the energy forms is the wind, fire, that is the heart, that solidity, balance and coldness. So another example I will give you, when you get injury. On that particular time, after a few seconds, immediately you start getting the pain. Why do you get that pain? Why? We do get pain. Since there is some trauma, after the trauma, the bleeding occurs, maybe one drop or more drops or more ml of blood is coming out. After that, slowly that hole gets contraction. How will it contracts? Body knows either it is capillaries injury, or it is arteries injury, or it is nervous injury. So immediately it started getting the contraction. When it starts getting contraction, the pain appears in the body. That pain is good for our health to get the recovery. If that will not get pain or that contractions will not close, then the bleeding remains the same, it is oozing out. So that is good, or achieving the pain is good. Getting the pain is good on the particular spot. So therefore, any kind of injury in our body, so that is reflecting on your certain spots, so that is good for our health. Momentarily, all the things, even we don't have the capacity to hold that. That is the problem. We don't have the patience to get the recovery. That is the issue. So before that, we will going to hurry. So immediately we rush to the place where we can get some kind of medication. So by example, I would like to tell you, last 10 days, I want to give you an example. Then I started sneezing, cold, expectorant, etc. And today I am able to talk to you. Last 10 days, last Friday it was started. It was came out, unwanted toxins through the nose and through the mouth. The body is making the expectoration naturally. So if we take the expectorant which is available in the market, so that will suppress our expectorant, probably that will accumulate again in the pulmonary system. With the suppression of the renal organ, the spleen system, then slowly will accumulate. Now in further future it will show the sign and symptoms of this condition. So last 10 days it is coming out, that is good, our body naturally it is expelling out, which is not essential to your body. You allow them to do and we need to follow. If you don't do the same, certainly today you are making control and coming days, that itself is the causes of disease. So these kind of the natures, in fact, we need to follow. If the pain gets in the abdominal region, pain gets in the legs, or pain gets in the cardiac region, that is good for your health for momentarily. You understood? So our body is making some circulatory system. Body is making exactly to become the normal health state. Body itself is making the alignments in our body. So no man is going to die until unless he wills. And the moment you take the super specialty hospital, so next to the hospital only the door is where the person is living. So immediately you take him into the next door to the hospital and he cannot alive. And the hospital cannot make the survival. Why it is so? The time kills and he got the lives. And just angina pain is coming, there are the two kinds, even myocardial infarction and immediately will going to die the people if they will get that kind of the pain. So that is left to him, the time comes, everyone will have to go. But what the nature says and we need to explain, what body says we need to follow the according to that. You understood? And eating habits as well is very important. When you get good hungry, when the stomach is asking you, please accept it. If the stomach is not asking you, don't make them to nourish the food by looking at the timings of the food. It's not important. And when you have good thirst, you just, if the thirst is there with you, or tongue is asking you, then provide that energy to the water, to the body. And when the sound sleep is essential, go for the bed when you will get to sleep. So properly, if you need the ideal sleep, the night time is preferable around is 10 to 5, minimum, maximum I am telling you, or 11 to 4 is more than enough. Rest is different and sleep is different. This is two important things. When after going to the bed you don't get to sleep, then you should not think that I am not falling asleep. Certainly they have the sleep. If they don't get to sleep, that also considered as a rest, and rest is essential to body. So it is recollecting and something is coming to the mind. So that also he is recollecting. It's not a bad. At that particular time is essential for a rest. After that he will get the sleep. Either he get the sleep for 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. That is the period is essential for his body, not for others. However, your body asks you, lie down according to that. When the body asks you rest, please follow that. So these are some of the things which you have need to highlight about the nature of it. Now the 5 reasons are used by nature, both are same. Now previously we have seen about the fire, earth, air, water and wood. Now the wind is corresponding to wood, that is the liver, and heat and hardness is associated with the heart, small intestine, pericardium or triple valve, and humidity is corresponding here is spleen, and dryness is relevant to the metal or air, but that is associated with the lungs and large intestine, and the coldness is representing here kidney or urinary bladder, that is the water element. So all these diseases, any disease we need to bring here early. So some acupuncturists are treating well and some of the acupuncturists are but whatever it may be, we need to, that acupuncturist or this acupuncturist, or American or Chinese or Korean or Indian philosophy, all the diseases we need to remove. talked that the people has been made some other more elements also in terms of like darkness and coldness and brightness. And more, there are another concept, there is a 10 elements. Even Ayurveda, there is a 10 elements. Even 5 concepts. Basically, the 5 concepts that has been elaborated to better understanding is the 8 elements, 6 elements, and 10 elements. But overall, we need to consider about between these 5 natures or 5 elements according to traditional Chinese perspective. Now we need to understand about the wind natures. So according to the traditional Chinese medicine, any disease, the origin of the disease, it causes of the wind, movements. Understood? The liver is the major role where it controls the maximum number of organs. Even I can say liver is the protective and detoxification effect, and also it is the controlling capacity or the storage capacity of the unwanted substances what we intake of food or intake of medicine or intake of alcohol, or the people have unwanted stuff things who take normally. So those conditions will accumulate in the liver. So once the liver is abundant and normal and healthy energy, that will support to all the organs. When the liver is abnormal, that will reflect the energy, bad energy to the heart, and that energy reflecting to the spleen. When the heart gets disturbed, so that will reflect to all the internal organs where the improper blood circulation to the body. So therefore, liver is very much essential to become the normal healthy condition. So therefore, we have one point. So liver 3, that is the Tai Chu, is the great detoxification point in our body. So that passes energy to the earth, where the earth will dump all the unwanted substances. So now, wind is excessiveness, that means wind is excessiveness or deficiency. For example, when the wind is excessiveness, is monsoon is excessiveness, is the wandering. Sometimes here wind and sometimes some other place is more wind. And it is rotating some places. So what it indicates? That condition, even in our body you can see, even itching or pruritus also. There is some kind of itching, sometimes here, sometimes in the leg, sometimes on the buttocks, and sometimes on the other, the gastrocnemius muscles, or sometimes on the rectus abdominis muscles, or sometimes on the spinal cord level. So where we get more itching, that means wandering. So what it indicates, the wind is excessiveness. So what we need to do, just we need to reduce the energy of wind energy by sedating liver 1 and liver 3, liver 2. So these are the sedative points of the liver. Just you deplete the energy of the liver to control itching. Now you can see heat and hotness. Heat is converting as a hotness. When the heat is excessiveness in our body, in terms of pyrexia, that is temperature, or maybe the burning sensation in our body, or hot flashes in our body. So why it is so? So when the internal environment, there are 2 environments in our body, is the external problems or external environment is adapting to the human body. Due to that reason, the internal environment gets obstruction or stagnation or it gets the disturbance. So that reflects to all the internal organs. So that causes is the external pathogenic factors and internal pathogenic factors. So endogenous disorders and exogenous disorders. So endogenous disorders are the emotional disorders which is affecting to the internal organs, whereas in exopathogenic factors which is affecting through the microorganism levels. Understood? So we have some of the acupuncture points in our body. Those points is general points, normally like line 11, stomach 36 and spleen 6. It having the ability to making the internal equilibrium function, internal homeostatic function in our body. That means the heartbeat, respiration rate, the blood count level will come to the normal, and also it improve the anemia condition. When the blood level is excessiveness or deficiency also causes diseases. Therefore, the blood also is the most important factor where to control all the diseases. Right? The purity of the cells, the purity of the count of the cells. So this is most important. Cells, tissues govern to the systems. When this unity of cells is not functioning properly, so that will affecting to the organs. So therefore, this homeostatic and immune enhancing points and tonification points will help to our body to nourish through to the blood to our body. Now when the heat and hardness is excessiveness, when the heat and coldness, heat and hardness is excessiveness, for example, you can see the temperature is excessiveness. At that condition, what we need to do? Just we need to deplete by using heart and pericardial meridian. There are the two ways we can do it. Acute condition and chronic disorders. When the acute disorders is, you need to understand about the young organs, whereas in chronic condition you have to understand to treat with ill organs. Now the temperature is there, we need to touch for the heart and pericardium. In acute condition, better you can treat triple organ and the small intestine. The small intestine 1 and the sagittal 1 will get the desirable results by giving small intestine 1 and sagittal 1 for the temperature. What will happen if you apply those 2 points? So that SI1 and SANJ1 passes energy, existing energy of these 2 organs passes to the large intestine. When the large intestine having more energy, so that gets the elimination process well. When the intestinal elimination gets clear, then the inner temperature will come down, where the enteral fever or viral fever also positive. In normal you can see the big polar. So what's this point will process energy to the polar to get the elimination process. When the humidity, you can see even in our Bangalore there is the normal humidity, but it is more or less, even you can say the more humidity in Bangalore rather than other places. In the air you can see there is we need to consider humidity here is the spleen, stomach and pancreas. Right. Normally the humidity excessiveness, it is the formation of the stones. So we need to deplete the humidity to control or to eliminate the unwanted crystals in our body or the stones formation in our body. So we need to sedate the humidity for the stone formation. And the dryness, for example, you can see in the short way I was explaining this is a very wide subject, and already I have explained just as a glance I am highlighting you, and further once we understand all these things, further we can understand how to treat with the single needling is very important. And this is the dryness is the lungs again, lungs and large intestine. You can see the dryness in our body. First appears dryness is where on the body is skin. So skin dryness, there is your moisturizers. Without moisturization, our hands looks like moisturized. Therefore, we don't have dryness. We have enough quantity of water. Right. So this dryness appears on the skin at the season of winter. Right. So this winter is external also is winter, and that is reflecting to the organ system. You can see the more dryness. So the lungs dryness point, we need to decrease that to become the vascularization. What we need for the dryness? Water is essential. Reduce the dryness LU8 or Li1. Deduction of that energy, that tonification for the dryness is LU5 and Li2 is tonification. These points will help to moisturize us naturally our body. Even the dryness in the lungs, it causes a dry cough, and the water is excessiveness in the lungs causes the expectorant in the lungs, and the speed is more humidity that also causes is put up in the lungs. And moreover, the dryness in the colon also it causes dryness in the colon, constipation, when the water sufficient is not in the colon, so that causes more dryness and unable to eliminate properly. Therefore, intake of water also essential to obtain the lubricant effect to proper evacuation. Right. Now further it is coldness. Coldness here is renal system or kidney. When the excessive coldness appears in our body, what happens? Normally it is starting the cold syndromes in our body in terms of rigidity in the muscles, arthralgia, arthritis. There are the two kinds of arthritis as well. So here is the cold arthritis and hard arthritis as well. When there is no water at all, there is no synovial fluid at all. So that also causes arthritis. When there is a more water is accumulated in the knee region or the ligamentum patella, which is unknotted, so that also causes arthritis. So therefore, when the cold syndromes gets more aggravation, that also causes the unwanted extracellular fluid will be accumulated in the cells. That also causes more pain. On that condition, we need to deplete the cold energy. Then what is essential for the suppress of the cold? To elevate heat. Heat is essential on that particular case. And K2 is sedation and level 2 is tonification.
So when there is no synovial fluid, that is hot arthritis.
Hot kind of
arthritis. And when it is more, when the synovial fluid is more, then it is cold type of arthritis.
Yeah, it is unwanted. See, water is essential. Water in the sense you can say is the body fluid. When the nose secretion is body fluid, saliva is body fluid, and the lips you can see moisturizing the lips is body fluid, right? So therefore, when this kind of this synovial fluid also as a body fluid, so which is not there, and the vaccinated body, so that causes the heart constitution also gets aggravation. Again, it is depending on the constitution level according to the patient, what they have. But somehow, by looking itself, we can understand whether it is a cold arthritis or the heat nature of arthritis. According to that, we need to deplete or